Now, from tomorrow midnight, the Supreme Court's liquor ban will also come into effect in Karnataka. With no relief from the centre on denotifying highway stretches in the state, shutters are likely to come down on liquor establishments on MG Road, Brigade Road, Church Street, Indiranagar and areas around Hosur Road. Siddaramaiah has no option but to turn to the apex court for relief. The Bengaluru excise duty has already issued notices to over 300 pubs and bars asking them to stop selling alcohol beverages from the 1st of July. Following the Supreme Court's 500-metre ban order, the pub owners have started reducing their inventory.
With the Supreme Court order on closure of pubs and bars on national highways kicking on July 1st, over 300 watering holes in the central business district of Bengaluru is staring at closure. In fact, in Bengaluru, this is a CBD and the Brigade Road. Over 5 pubs in just this road alone. There are about 10 roads in the central business district and there are 300 watering holes and thousands of pub hoppers come in to this part of the city to have beer. Well, this July 1st order has to be implemented. All these pubs will be closed down and it will be a dry weekend. Now, over 300 pub owners are meeting KJ George, Bengaluru Development Minister, this evening for a truce. But will it happen? Remains to be seen. But what is important is the fact that these pubs will be shut if the order has to be followed. With video journalist Harish, Jayaprakash, NewsX from Bengaluru.
We have to take it, first of all, in the spirit of what the Supreme Court's order is. It is the apex court of the country, and the intention, of course, has always been a noble one, which was to prevent drunken driving, especially along highways. But given that it's a sweeping rule which is applicable across the country, I think where a lot of people have been caught in the crossfires is that the actual way the national highways are structured is a little complex. So in our case, particularly in Bangalore, they go right through the heart of the city. MG Road, Brigade Road being, the crown jewels as far as roads are concerned, but also turn out to be highways.
It doesn't matter to me right now, but yeah, why? Why is it being closed? But these are legalized places, so it shouldn't be closed as yet, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad news for my college mates, but then it's a good thing also. Like the mass molestation thing happened, it's okay, it's fine. You should shut a little bit of alcohol in the city.
Let's go across to my colleague Jayaprakash, who's joining us at this point. Jayaprakash, let's go through the different conflicts here. At the first level, obviously, is a controversial rule to, or at least law, to ensure that there are no liquor shops within 500 meters. That has been interpreted selectively by the NHI. The second level comes the interpretation from different state governments as to what really is a national highway and what is not. But this is perhaps at the lowest level and perhaps the biggest question mark as to why the BBMP waited for so long, or at least the excise, the PWD waited for so long to find out whether the areas around MG Road were part of national highway stretches or actually local roads maintained by the BBMP.
Well, absolutely, Ritangshu. There is no logic or whatsoever in these roads being called as national highways because all these roads are part of the central business district. It's a highly concentrated downtown of Bangalore, and MG Road, Brigade Road, Church Street, all these roads are where the pub hoppers come in large numbers in the weekends. In fact, this is a notification of 1962, and after that it has not been ratified. Now, what it has led to is this huge controversy over closing down these pubs, or rather stop serving liquor in these pubs and bars, which includes the 5-star hotels as well. Now the representation has been given by the association here in Bangalore to Bangalore Development Minister KJ George that these are the city roads and these are not national highways, and the state government has to notify these as city roads. But we'll have to see what the response of the state government will be in this connection. But right now I am joined by the members of this association. I have Manu Chandra here with me, who just now met KJ George. I'm going to speak to him and ask him what kind of response that you have got from George.
At the outset, I have to say that Mr. KJ George was extremely sympathetic and he heard us out completely. He's cognizant and completely aware of the situation, of course. Like I said earlier also, that the Karnataka government had made representations earlier. They are looking into ways and means of trying to ease the situation for a lot of business owners who've been impacted by this. But you know, it is a national highway, and that's essentially where legalities come into play. As I had mentioned earlier to you as well, you know, it's a Supreme Court order, and we completely respect it as business owners, as citizens. But we're a little befuddled because we don't understand how the CBD could be a national highway. And I think, you know, for us, we were hoping that there's an anomaly over there, and we're trying to explore that further. But, you know, the one thing you have to understand is that as far as any kind of demarcation of roads, etc. are concerned, you have to dig in through a lot of different old maps and laws, etc. So what may have happened in 1968 may have changed along the way. NHAI itself is not that old an organization, yet it is in charge of...
My colleague in Delhi, Ridangshu, he has raised a pertinent question. Why has the BBMP woke up now? The orders came in March, April, been a couple of months, and just now, about 2 weeks ago, you guys received the notice. Didn't you question the government on this immediate notice being issued to you guys? What are the response you got on that front?
Well, BBMP is not the people we have to question here. The closure notices for the bars particularly were issued by the excise department, which is essentially doing their job. They're following the orders that have been prescribed to them. They seek clarification from the highway authorities to check which are highways and which are not. There are certain highways, state highways, that come under the purview of the state. If they get denotified, it can happen from a state order. That's not necessarily true for a national highway, which comes under the center, which is outside of the purview of the state government. There are other ways. Of course, these are not, some kind of made-up things, but usually if a large city or town has a substantial bypass which is looked after by the National Highway Authority, then the city itself, the city roads are deemed denotified automatically.
Now, you said the minister was sympathetic, but on ground, what is the reality? Are you guys stopped serving liquor this weekend? Is it going to be a dry weekend in Bengaluru?
No, it's not going to be a dry weekend in Bangalore. It's going to be a dry weekend
in the CBD, in those restaurants that you guys serve?
Yes, anything that's falling within 500 meters of these roads will have to go dry. Everyone's following the instructions to the T. Nobody is trying to flaunt it.
Comes to MG Road and the surrounding areas here. That obviously is unfortunate, the reality coming in from Bengaluru. Thank you so much, Jai Prakash, for joining us with those members from the Liquor Association who have put forward their concerns. Meanwhile,